Hi, I'm David. I'm going to talk about a method I've been using to help with Tableau software upgrades. A method where I use a Python script to download all of the dashboard views on a server and then compare it before and after. I've tried to target not needing any special requirements to be able to run this, just a computer that can access your Tableau server's web portal. We will need to install a few pieces of software. You may want to make changes to my scripts. Feel free to post any comments on the Tableau Community post. Very happy to take feedback, very happy for improvements. Don't forget to look at Tableau's own GitHub page. They have some much more thorough tools for this, but some of the tools have requirements that I can't actually meet. We'll run through the basic setup and how to do the tests. What are some of the things that could go wrong? As with any script that's doing tests against a server, you could easily overload your server and make it unusable, or even worse, make it crash. So I recommend only doing this in a test environment. Of course, you may run into just general problems trying to run the script. Feel free to post a comment with the full error, and we'll see what we can do or what the community might be able to help you out with. First, we'll just jump into installing Anaconda. It provides Python and Jupyter notebooks, as well as a whole bunch of standard libraries. It's pretty easy. You just go there, you can download it and install it. You don't even need admin rights on your PC to install it. Just run through. The standard options are perfectly fine. When you're done, we want to launch the Jupyter notebook portion that it has installed. It may automatically pop up with a web browser. If it doesn't, you can always cut and paste the link it provides you and put it into a web browser, and that will allow you to load its interface. One of the things you'll need to do is download the 2 script files that are on my Tableau Community forum post and paste them into a directory that Jupyter Notebooks can see. It's normally a folder underneath your computer's user directory. There are 2 files here. The first one of them will connect to your Tableau server and download an image of all the views it can access. The second one is used for comparing the images that are outputted from the first script. We will be running the first script twice to get the before and after results. So let's jump into running the first script. If it's your first time running the script, you will need to do a pip install of the Tableau server client. This is a piece of code that Tableau make available to make accessing the server REST API much easier. If you rerun the code at any stage, to do that, it's not a problem. We'll jump into the second cell. You may need to update this cell for the items for your particular server. The main ones being the server URL and the site name. The bottom 2 are used for where this script will save its output files. In this case, it will end up in folders underneath C:temp. Changing the server short name is a folder name that can be very handy for running multiple tests and storing the results into different folders. It will automatically create any folders required. And the next part of the script will actually connect into your Tableau server. In Python, there are some good ways of managing usernames and password. I've just gone with a simple ask you for your username and password choice here. So type them in and then it should connect to server. Then you can proceed to run down the rest of the cells of code and it will go in and download the images on that particular site. For my test case, I've just got a Tableau server here with the standard sample workbooks deployed to it. One extra area to note is the number of threads that you wish to run. This will tell the script how many images it should get at the same time. Having this at a big number can make the script run faster, but it will put more load on your server, so you can risk overloading your servers and potentially crashing them. I've typically gone with 2 threads for each node in my cluster that I have. But I would recommend being conservative with this until you learn what kind of results you get from running the script and the impact on your server. Then we'll want to run the script again after you've done your Tableau server changes, normally a software upgrade. Make sure you change that short name path so it will save the results into a second folder so you can use them to compare with. Once you've done that, we should have two complete sets of images that we can now run a compare script on. So we'll go in, we'll open up our compare script. Again, there's a library that needs to be downloaded and added called OpenCV. Once we've done that, we can proceed to run through the script. Again, we'll import the libraries we need, and then we'll ask the script to let us know which folders it can see and how many images are in each folder. We can then cut and paste the names of the two folders we wish to compare into the folder 1 and folder 2 variables below. We can also update our folder results location, and this is where it will save the differences it detects between the various images, if there are any. Next we'll run a bit of code that gets the list of files in both directories, then the cell that sets up a few items to do the comparison, and then the final cell which will actually do the comparison and output any of the differences. Now you can see in this case I've had a warning about some of the libraries that I'm using and how it may change in the future, but the program will keep running through this. When I have some spare time in the future, I may look into that and see what I can do to update my code. You can see it's detected 3 dashboards which have some error differences. The MSE result is the mean square error, I believe. You can always check the website I've linked for that for the details about what that means and how it works, and the smart people who have actually done the work behind that. To create some results, I actually went into one of my output image folders and did some quick edits in a paint tool, so we could actually see some failed results. That mean square error shows a number which talks about how different the images are. A small number has a very low difference, a big number has a much bigger difference. In this case, it's also outputted one of the images. These images have been saved into the results directory. And you can see there's a before and after. Now, as mentioned in the text, all these comparisons done in grayscale. And if you look carefully at this particular image, you can see that the title positions for the bottom charts has shifted. So that's the difference it's detected. Now I'll jump into the results directory so we can have a little bit of a further look into this. See our two sets of images and our results folder. So we can see on this one it's detected a difference, but it's not immediately obvious where the difference is. In this one we can see the title locations have moved. In this one we can see we're introducing 2 entire columns of data. As mentioned, I dummied those up just so the script could detect some results. For the one where we couldn't see any obvious differences, we do have the file name, so we can go look it up and open up the particular before and after files to see if we can see the results a little bit differently. There's our first image. Now we'll jump in and we'll get our second. And we can switch between the two images to see if we can spot the difference. And in this case, we can see that a color has changed. So in the grayscale, that was quite hard to see, but when we open up the source images, it was quite obvious. As you can see, this could be a handy way to see if anything moves, shifts, or changes when doing an update. A very quick way if you've got thousands and thousands of views A good way to make the computer do the hard work, and then we can just review the results to see if we're happy with them. Thanks for your time. Feel free to post any comments, updates, improvements, ideas. I've certainly just built this for my own personal use and have had a few requests to talk about it, so I'm just saving this somewhere where I don't have to repeat myself. Thanks for your time.